What is up YouTube? Johnny B here again today, and we're going to be bringing you a video on my new daily. As you guys know, the FRS is not my daily, it's just the car that I like to take out in the weekends and take it to the occasional track day. And it's just my all-around have fun car, but obviously I need a normal car to daily commute, you know, to be driving around town, to go to the store, to go get groceries and stuff like that. I don't really want to be doing all that stuff in my FRS, so I need a daily. Unfortunately, I sold my black IS300, and I know a lot of you guys really like that car, and I really loved it too, but someone wanted it. They gave me a reasonable offer, and I just couldn't resist it. And he's a subscriber that's local to here in Phoenix, Arizona, so he actually would drive by and see it all the time, and he ended up wanting it, so he got it. I figured it'd be in good hands with him, mainly because he was planning to do what I wanted to do, but I didn't have the budget to do, which was to drop a 2JZ GT in it, put a single turbo on it, and just make that thing an all-around beast, because it already has, you know, the big brake kit. The black paint was already really nice, and you know, the car was really nice already. All it needed was a little bit more power, and unfortunately that wasn't in my budget. I'm busy with the FRS, but now I missed it so much that I actually got my hands on another IS300. I went to the auction, I saw a really clean example of one, and I just said I must have it. So if you guys look at it right now, it's missing the hood, obviously, because I took it off. It seems like a truck, again, backed up into this one. It broke the headlight and it dented the hood. The bumper seems to have saved itself on this one, except for like a little gash over here. But overall, it's very similar to my first Lexus IS300, except that one literally chopped off the bumper, and you know, a lot of the things got messed up. I had to replace the whole core support. Luckily in this one, I didn't replace the core support. I'm probably just gonna replace from these bolts that way. So we're gonna need to find a chunk of a core support right there. One thing that I did need to do was replace the radiator. Already went ahead and replaced it. And then I needed to replace the belt because it got smashed. The fans actually survived, so that was good. So that's pretty much what I needed to get the car running. As soon as I got it running, I found out that the brakes were just terrible. So I went ahead and just redid the brakes. These are the stock brakes. I just put some nice pads on there, resurfaced the rotors. And actually you can tell that this Lexus is kind of low, so it's not on stock suspension anymore. The stock struts that were on there are gone. They were garbage. The car was literally hopping up and down, and it was just like the sketchiest thing. So the car was well taken care of in the sense that everything was clean. There was no scratches, there was no dents. But maintenance wise, you know, they weren't doing the suspension, which a lot of people don't really do. And then the brakes were needed to get done because they were vibrating when I was stepping on. The interior in this one, which was much cleaner than my black Lexus IS300. The other one was full leather, and it was really nice, but the leather, it started to shrink over the years, and it was getting a little bit more brittle and stuff like that. So, you know, it was about to start ripping, like all IS300s interiors are. The leather always starts ripping. So luckily with this one's interior is really clean. It is the half leather, half suede, and it's got like kind of like a blue suede. So this one's not gonna be shrinking because of the suede, and it's just the interior was a lot more nice because of the fact that it wasn't full leather. So that normally is a determining factor. The steering wheel is a bit nicer. The shift knob is nice and shiny as well. The other one started like little cracks here and there on the actual shifter, which I really love the stock shifter, so I see no point in changing it. But overall, you know, the car's nice. The paint, you know, it's pearl white, so it's a nice color. But for some reason, the white just doesn't do it enough justice. Like the black, when it was at night and it was like really clean, it just looks so elegant. And the white doesn't really look as elegant anymore. And then the wheels, I had some people getting mad at me because I said that the chrome ones were like the upgraded ones, and people were saying that the silver ones were the upgraded ones, which to me doesn't really make sense because chrome was a big thing back in the 2000s. And this one has the silver ones, which is supposed to be the upgrade. But when it's painted and it has like a clear film over it, like a clear coat, and like it started peeling off, it started looking all ugly. I feel like the chrome ones, you know, maintained themselves, you know, over a long period of time a lot better because they still looked in really good condition. So I'm probably gonna have to end up painting those, maybe powder coating them, maybe painting them some different color. You know, for some reason it has the same exact like scratch on the side of this bumper, which mine also had as well. That can easily be buffed out. Looks like someone backed into something. So it's just like a little bit of trade paint. and my black one had that same exact mark there. So it had the same mark on the bumper and the same like hit in the front where it smashed the headlight and the hood, which is pretty funny. So if you look at where the sun is hitting, you know, you can see it's a pearl, because on camera, you know, with the shade, you probably can't tell that it's a pearl, but if you just look at it, how it is right now, like it shines really nicely. So I guess in the sun, the car would look a lot cleaner than it does like at night, because it just looks like a normal white car. All right, so now that you guys know everything that I fixed to make the car actually drivable, now I need to make it look, you know, cosmetically appealing. I needed to make it look good on the street, just so, you know, random bystanders are like, why is this car's headlight all broken without a hood? So I gotta make it look good, and first thing I'm probably gonna have to order is new headlights. I could just order one, but if you look at the one on the other side, they're both just as hazy and they just don't look good. They're the factory headlights, and I think I'll probably end up buying the same ones that I had on my Lexus, which is like the OEM style, but they are black housing. So the black housing will do a very nice contrast with the white, and I think that'll make it look really good. Another thing that I need to do is go ahead and order this core support piece. I could try to unbend it and whatnot, but it'll just be a pain. It literally unbolts in this middle section, and I could just chop and weld whatever I need. So I'll probably just have to go to the junkyard to find a piece to replace with that. And then this fender, it doesn't look as bad right here. I can easily repair this. That way I don't have to buy a fender, because parts for this car are ridiculous. Like for a brand new fender for my FRS, 260 bucks from the dealer. Brand new fender for this IS300, you're looking at the dealer like $400 or $500. Like it's like almost twice as much for a car that's 20 years old. So it's pretty crazy. Another thing that I'm gonna need is the hood, obviously, because the hood got all bent up. So that's gonna be, you know, the third thing on the list. So headlights, core support, hood, and then obviously, you know, the grill broke. That is something that breaks easily. It wasn't as bad. It broke like a little section, but I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. I'll probably get the Alteza one with a nice Alteza logo, just like I had in my other one, because I loved how everybody would just freak out and not know what type of car it was just because they've never seen that emblem. So it was pretty funny when I was driving my black Lexus. So I'll probably end up doing the same thing to this one. And you know, that's pretty much it. The car has almost brand new Pirellis on it. So if anything, another thing that I will do is paint the wheels. I'm thinking maybe painting them like gunmetal, but then it'll just be like my FRS paint scheme all over again, because it's white with gunmetal, pro white with gunmetal wheels. I was also thinking about going with black, but running an actual gloss black, like not a flat black, because then it just looks like I plasti dipped them. But if I paint them gloss black, I think, you know, they would stand out and actually look really good. A nice contrast with the white. So it'll be, whereas my black one was a black car with chrome accents. So we had chrome wheels, chrome grille, the rear taillights are obviously kind of chromy. Just little things like that, and it just made it pop. So with this one, I want to do the white, but I want to do with a lot of black accents. So black housing headlights, a black grille, maybe black wheels, and that'll probably be it. I don't want to go too crazy making all kinds of random stuff black. I think just with those few little details, just keeping it nice and simple, I think it's gonna look really good, and you know, it'll probably I'll probably end up selling it. So I don't want to make it too personalized. I still want it to look good to the general public, because that's just what my dailies are. My dailies most of the time are cars that I'm just driving around until they sell, and then I just go buy another one, and just so forth and so forth. Whereas the FRS is just the car that I'm planning on keeping. So I don't really get too attached to them. I did really love the IS300. That's why I just ended up getting a whole nother one. I found this one has less miles. It's a year newer, and the interior is a lot more taken care of. And you know, it's a pro color. So the car was basically stock. That was one of the main things that I wanted to do, is just get a car that was completely stock. I didn't want to have to deal with anything. This one has a stock header and exhaust system, whereas the other one had a header back exhaust. So I had a problem with the check engine light all the time. This one has no check engine lights. This car drives perfectly good, apart from, you know, the suspension that I needed to change, which is funny enough because it has the same damage, you know, the front and the rear bumper, and then it has what the other car didn't have. So the other car didn't have issues with the brakes or suspension because it had, you know, a big brake kit from K-Sport and coilovers, whereas this one had the brakes were shot, and so were the shocks and, you know, the struts. So it was kind of funny. It was kind of like flipped backwards with another car, but the interior was a bit cleaner and a little bit nicer. So So I mean, it all works out. It's still super fun to drive. I've actually driven it like this, which is kind of embarrassing, but you know, sometimes you need to get somewhere, and the AC and everything works perfectly fine. So I think it'll be a fun little project just to get it done and just start daily driving it again. I know a lot of you guys have an IS300, so this will probably be something cool to see, whereas I mean, I'm getting a bunch of different IS300s. That's how it is. I'll always love these cars after that first IS300. I think that's just once you first get into a Toyota, I guess once you first get into a Lexus, it's just an experience where you just want to get another one. And that's just how it is for a lot of the Lexus community that I've, you know, a lot of the owners that I've talked to that have Lexuses. They have one, they sold it, they wanted to get another one, or they get like another version of it. They can go for, you know, instead of getting the IS, get the bigger model ones, which is like the ES or the GS300s, which is, you know, something cool to see. So if I do end up selling this one, probably the next one that I want to get would be an IS350. So the next model after this one, V6, it'll be a little bit more powerful. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So let's get to ordering all these parts, and then hopefully by next video we'll start putting the car together and getting everything ready just to drive it around. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you click that subscribe button and that bell notification so you guys know when the videos are coming up. And as always, you guys have a great day.